Hey, welcome back. So you have back pain, you need to bend over. What do? My first recommendation is to try the split squat. We're going to set up with one leg in front, one leg back, and we're going to lower ourselves without trying to bring our spine too far forward. Now, for that strategy to be worthwhile for you, it should feel better than what you're doing normally, so that your pain is at least reduced and ideally eliminated. Now, for a lot of people, one side, maybe their right side in front, is going to feel better than their left side in front. Whatever side in front feels best, that's what I want you to use all the time. And if both sides feel okay, feel free to mix it up. Now, if you had reduced pain using that split squat, but you still had some discomfort, what I want you to try is using like a post to bend down. And if that helps even more, you need to be using support as much as you possibly can. And the support doesn't always necessarily need to come from a post that you're going to carry around with you or whatever is handy. It can come from a countertop. Sometimes even leaning on your leg in front of you can help. I do recommend for some people a cane is really helpful. You can bring it around different places, bring it outside, doing work outside, you have to bend over. You might need something that's going to be a little portable. So the idea though is that when you are eliminating the pain with your low back, even if you're having to use a ton of assistance, what you're allowing it to do is to recover faster. Remember, back pain is really not that much more than a competition between damage which is happening to your spine and recovery that's happening to your spine. If we're minimizing or eliminating the pain, which means we're eliminating the damage that's occurring, our spine is going to recover and heal, and you're going to get out of back pain much faster than if you're just bending over the same old way, which if it causes you pain, you are doing damage. So make sure that you're using these strategies, leaving your ego at the door, right? Use whatever you got to do in order to minimize that pain. Now, we went over a split squat strategy and using some support, but I also want you to be conscious of keeping the spine straight. A lot of people, when they bend over, it's going to look like this. They're just going to, whatever, just bend over, right? And that rounded position is like the worst possible position you can have your spine be in. Ideally, it should be straight. I don't want you to be super extended here like this. Just a nice straight spine is where we want to be at. The spine is the most resilient to stress when it's straight. The other thing we can do is to brace, tense up the abdominals and all around here, potentially even our low back, so that we have less pain. And this is something you really want to experiment with, and really experiment with all of these strategies, because not all of these strategies are going to work for you. So you need to make sure you're using whatever works. Maybe just using some support and keeping a straight spine, but bending over like this works best for you. Maybe a half kneeling strategy doesn't work that well for you. And I've seen that happen, right? We can't predict in every single person that the strategy will work. The idea is we use what does work, and when you do what works, what you'll find is you'll need less and less and less strategies. But sometimes, unless you really use what you really need, and you might need all of them, then you are going to be promoting more back pain and just making it harder for you to get out of back pain faster. So again, the idea is that when we're bracing, I don't want you to use a little bit at first, okay? And if it helps, great, keep that. A lot of you might require a good amount of bracing or tensing out throughout the whole abdominal area. And if that helps, you keep it. But some of you are going to find that when you brace too much, you're going to have too much. You're going to have increased pain, in which case, don't brace that much. And for some of you, if you increase it at all, it's going to increase your pain, in which case, don't do that. You don't have to do that. I know the big thing now is like, you got to brace your abdominals all the time. You have to use just what works. Okay, I'm telling you, there's no magic formula for every single person that's going to get them out of back pain. So there is one scenario in which case I will see people and I'm like, okay, I want you to bend over. I'll just watch them a while. And they have a very good posture bending over. Everything looks fine. And they have back pain. Well, what's going on? Well, generally what happens in those scenarios is that the person has an overuse of low back. Oftentimes they're bending over for such a long period of time. Worst people I've seen are landscapers, and what takes the cake is gardeners. Gardeners, I realize it's not, it's not the most popular position right now, but they're just bending over so much, and it can be a killer on the back. So we have to find strategies that we're counteracting how much they're bending over. So in those cases, we're bending over too much, and you're going to need a lot of support and a lot of breaks. Okay, so it's okay to keep that straight spine. You can keep a little tension in there. You can do everything right, but you still, if you have an overuse of like your low back muscles, you're gonna have to give them a break. You're gonna have to find ways where maybe you can go on all fours and do some of your work, but just get some support for that back so you're not overdoing it temporarily. And once you give them an adequate rest, I think you're gonna find you can get out of back pain much faster. Sometimes though, there's an alignment issue. Just check out my anterior pelvic tilt series. Sometimes we need a little bit more abdominals in front. Check out the McGill Big 3 series that I offer. So if you have any questions, comments, problems with bending over with back pain, please feel free to ask in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.